Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Navreet Handal, Project Coordinator at Valley Vision. We are excited to welcome you here today for our Capital Region Coalition convening. Today's convening is focused on digital navigator programs. We also do have a convening next week, which we'll share more later. Today's convening will be recorded during the presentation portion. Towards the end, we do have an input session through Mentimeter in which we'll stop recording, and it is an anonymous forum just to allow for your input on how CRCDI can help support your work within the digital inclusion space. And with that, I'll pass it over to Trish Kelly, our Senior Advisor.
Thank you so much, Navreet. Welcome, everyone. We're so happy to see you all here. We have a nice cross-section of partners at the state and regional levels, and we're excited to have this meeting and really want to thank our support that we've received from AT&T. I'll talk about that in a minute, but today we're going to talk about the digital navigator programs that we and other partners like the California Emerging Technology Fund have been supporting, and then how we have support from partners like AT&T with, especially with this process where we're able to bring together our community partners and talk about how we can collaborate to help deploy digital access, adoption, and equity initiatives in our community, and some of the things we've already been doing. So as Navreet mentioned, we'll be having an input session after we have the chance to hear from the California Emerging Technology Fund, and then we'll do some closing remarks and get ready for our meeting next week to continue the conversation. So the coalition has been around for a while. We started in 2019, and it was based on findings that we had from the Brookings Foundation that we were behind some of our adoption, especially with youth. So we really have been focused with a big network of partners. And the purpose of this convening is to really help us connect and engage with local partners. As Navreet mentioned, please put your name in the chat so we see who everybody is. And then we want to update people on current digital navigator programs, including what we have been supporting and implementing through the support of the California Emerging Technology Fund. And then we want to get information from you all about the needs and gaps that you have. We know funding is continuing to be an issue. These digital navigator programs are really the linchpin to help us get our communities and our residents and businesses connected to the devices, the programs, the digital literacy. But the digital navigators are that trusted connector in the communities. So that's what we're going to do today is the purpose of that. And next slide, Navreet. So we want to thank our partner, AT&T. This is a really lovely picture from a board meeting last fall when Donna Davis, who's the manager of external affairs for AT&T, provided us with support for this initiative. We're really super grateful for this. It really enables us to support the community, the work of the coalition. And the coalition had original found partners of three of those community college district, the workforce, or city of Sacramento, the library, and so this kind of work that AT&T is providing, so allowing us to broaden the network of partners to really provide more information and funding resources for our community partners. So it's my pleasure to introduce Donna. She's been just such a great supporter of our mission and work here. So Donna, I'd like to turn it over to you to talk about some of AT&T's work in the community.
Thanks so much, Trish. I appreciate it. And thank you for the invitation to join you on this call today. I know AT&T, we've enjoyed a very long partnership with Valley Vision in the greater Sacramento region, doing so much of the important work in the digital divide space. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that today we're having a special anniversary with AT&T. It actually marks the 150th anniversary of the first phone call that happened today, March 10th, 150 years ago, if you can believe it. We've come a long way, babies, to say the least, from that first call from room to room when he said those famous Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you. Those were the first words over a first telephone call, if you can believe it. Our work now is really looking at the innovation from AT&T and moving folks forward into modern technologies and addressing some of those hurdles that we have in the space with access and affordability, devices, and the important work of adoption, which I know we're going to talk about here with the Navigator program. And so we're really vested in the Sacramento region, all over California, to help bridge this digital divide. And a couple of things that we've done here locally, you may not be aware of. We have what's called an AT&T Connected Learning Center. We opened that here at the Boys and Girls Club in Sacramento. And that is basically like an all-inclusive computer lab that's available for those kids to access and do digital learning and schoolwork and training in digital media spaces and all the great things that the technology provides. We'll be opening another one with the street soccer organization this year, so that's coming in 2026. In addition to those connected learning centers, we do a lot of grant work, example by this picture with Valley Vision. Last year, we also funded a grant for Society for the Blind, supporting their core program, which uses digital tools and accessible devices to help those that are visually impaired or blind to access services and gain employment. And then Roberts Family Development Center was another one of our recipients here locally in Sacramento for a digital divide grant, helping to support the expansion of their their computer cafe that they have on site. Additionally, and I know we've worked a lot too with Trish on this. AT&T has been awarded several grants from the federal funding account funding program. So we are, expanding fiber in those more rural areas that have often been kind of left without access to high-speed broadband. So we have several projects in Yuba and Yolo County where we're going out to over 4,200 unserved locations. And then I think the last thing I'll leave too about kind of accessibility, especially in underserved and rural communities, is just a mention about AT&T Internet Air, which is our wireless home broadband service. And that is reaching households throughout the four-county region. So we're really excited to see that deployment and the folks signing up to use it and having broadband access that might not otherwise do it. So we really look forward to seeing how things go with the Navigator program. And thanks, Trish, again for the opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you, Donna. And again, we so appreciate your partnership. I know you do device distributions as well as these other projects, and just really important partner in our community. We're excited about both the infrastructure deployment that will be happening this year, connecting those rural areas, as well as all these other programs. So, Donna, we appreciate you. Thank you. And now I'd love to turn it over to our partners at the California Emerging Technology Fund. CETF is a statewide nonprofit that was formed by the merger of several telecoms almost 20 years ago, and they have been just an incredible champion for us in the regions, supporting us in a lot of different ways and a lot of different programs, including supporting our local government officials with best practices, supporting us to do resources on helping our local communities get ready for infrastructure deployments with good permit streamlining, and then supporting a huge amount of work on addressing the digital divide. We partnered with CETF, or they supported us on earlier enrollment programs for affordable connectivity programs, and just so many ways that we have been supported. So really happy now to turn it over to the team. They're going to talk about a program that we're doing with them in our impacted communities, especially not just low income for digital divide, but also pollution impacted communities. So really trying to help empower these communities, and then just other resources that CETF has. So it's my pleasure now to turn it over to the team.
Thank you, Trish. Thank you, everyone at Valley Vision. You guys are such great partners. We love working with you guys. My name is Patty Bibby. I'm the Senior Director here at California Emerging Technology Fund. I oversee the call center operations as well as the partner engagement. Narit, could you go to the next slide? All right. The mission of CETF is to close the digital divide. And we see that as the challenge. We go out and we promote digital inclusion, the process, and hopefully achieve digital equity as the result. And so we see that as CPR. California really needs CPR to get everyone connected to the internet so they have resources and achieve digital equity so they have access to telehealth, to pay their bills online, to see the doctor online, whatever it may be. So that is our commitment to get everyone in California online with the help of our partners. If you could go to the next slide. We've been in this space for over 19 years now, and we really are known for being strategically focused. We focus on results, and we do so by partnering with people in the community that can, move closer to the goal of getting everyone connected. So far, over our 19 years, we've connected over 1 million households with help from our partners and trained over 1 million individuals. We um, we we love our data here at CETF. We are very data driven to say the least, and we use data from everywhere, statewide surveys, our own call center performance matrix, CBO information, anywhere we can get the data to make sure all of the projects we work in have measurable outcomes in digital equity. We love to collaborate and we love to make matches between our partners for you guys to collaborate with each other. We have over 100 community-based organizations whom we partner with, along with over 12 schools, districts, 35 schools themselves, and all 58 counties, and over 400 cities that are part of our best practices group. And like I said, we like to get everybody together in communities of practice to share ideas how we can all work together towards a common goal. And then we are trusted in our stewardship. We are grant givers. All of our CBOs we work with are actually our grantees, and many of our partners are grantees as well. Over the last 19 years now, we have been leveraging over $150 million in program funding and $126 million in matching funds. And we maintain a high level of efficiency that's audited year after year. And next slide. Um, CETF offers all of our partners our digital equity ecosystem, and we put together these 12 steps in our ecosystem in hopes that our partner won't have to reinvent the wheel. We want to be able to take the stress, the load off of our partners so they can do their daily jobs because we know, our partners aren't doing this specifically. They may be doing 3 other programs or more at the time. So we want to supply as much help as we can. So myself and my colleagues here on the call today, who are all part of the adoptions team, this is what we do day in and day out for our partners. Marissa, who will be speaking here in a moment, she oversees our direct notification, which is really the starting point of our of our ecosystem. Because without being able to do direct notification with any of our projects, we wouldn't have partners to try to help. So um, we really endorse our ecosystem and happy to share it with everybody. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. Our call center, while the direct notification drives our business, basically, it's the call center who are the backbone. And our primary goal at the call center is to help those individuals of California who need help in enrolling. Um, when ACP was still around, a lot of people needed assistance in applying for ACP. It's even more so now that ACP has gone away. Um, Over the last year, we have received over 250,000 phone calls of people needing help. And so they may not all be calling for internet, and we may not be able to get them all connected, but whatever they're calling for, our CBO staff at the call center helps every one of them, no matter what their question is. And this call center is staffed by our community-based organizations. Currently, there's over 9 organizations working for us as grantees. And you can go to the next slide, please. And we have currently over 75 agents from those 9 CBOs that are on the phone 6 days a week, and answering all those calls and making sure each individual is assisted. Our partners all receive their own individual phone number. We do this so when the calls come into the call center, the agents know how that person got to them, but also so we can help our partners track the success of their marketing and be able to work with them to adjust it any way we might need. Our call center also takes calls in many languages, English, Spanish, Mandarin, Cantonese, Farsi, and next week there'll be about 20 other Southeast Asian dialects that will be added. And during the conversation with our residents who need help enrolling in low-cost internet, we will have a conversation with them, find out what their needs are, what their wants are, why they're calling, and then if they're looking for internet, we let them know what's available in their area based on their zip code. They choose which ISP they would like to go with, and then we conduct a 3-way call with the resident and the ISP to ensure that resident gets the benefits they deserve without being upsold or pressured into a higher market rate plan. So that is a little bit of the call center and CETF in a nutshell. I'm going to now turn it over to Marissa Canchet, and she's going to give you a little bit more information. And at the very end, we'll be happy to answer any questions, and we'll put our emails in the chat as well. Thanks, everyone. Marissa, take it away.
Great. Okay. Navreet, you can go to the next slide. Thank you. Okay, so we are really thrilled to have developed several different products that we categorize under our digital literacy initiative. The first one is our digital literacy curriculum, which was developed using and framing our curriculum around the UNESCO framework. And our literacy training consists of 6 elements. We've received really good positive feedback from participants that have completed our digital literacy training. We do offer pre and post self-assessments so that we are able to determine, where the participant's level of understanding is before taking the training. And then, of course, we want to learn what the participant's level of learning has or is as a result of the training. And so it is just it's a great way for participants to, sort of get their hands wet, and sort of break this sort of sometimes very often, participants are a little bit nervous or a little bit scared to, try something new, learn something new. We really do take our time in going through the digital literacy components. We offer, small group sizes so that we can interact with the participants on a more intimate level. And so, yeah, it's been a really great, a really great product that is evergreen. We're always learning, we're always taking feedback from our participants, and we're currently in the process of expanding on our digital literacy topics. So we hope to include a topic like AI, which has become a really popular, sort of hot topic in the last several years. And then a lot of our participants have mentioned that that's something that they want to learn more about. So that's a little bit about our digital literacy training. We've also developed a toolkit for digital navigators to train them so that they can train and use the resources within their community. We offer, it is currently an 8-module training curriculum that from start to finish takes around 20 hours to complete. We're really thrilled that we received a certification through the California State University Chico, who once the participants complete the 20-hour training, the university will then certify them as digital navigators, and they will receive a digital badge, which has been really great. I think our participants get really excited that they get to have sort of this badge of honor. Many have used it, in their email signatures, but we actually had an organization get really creative with it and, managed to make a name badge for their organization. So really happy, to have had that opportunity first to partner with the university, but also, just to be able to work with, navigators who are now, training folks on the ground and helping their members with whatever, questions come up. Within the toolkit, we do offer facilitator guides, which are it's a great way for the facilitator to follow along in delivering that curriculum. We do have slide decks for every single module. And similar to the digital literacy training, we do also offer a pre and post self-assessment for digital navigators. Because again, we really want to understand from the beginning what the level of understanding is for, folks coming in wanting to get trained, and then, being able to have that measurable impact at the end of training when they complete their assessment, their post assessment. Okay, next slide, please. Oh, okay. So, right. So, like I mentioned, we train and then we certify, which has been a really great, sort of, I think to me, it was like a cherry on top. After they complete the training, a lot of our participants were just, like I said, thrilled to be able to receive that digital badge. We do offer 2 different types of methods when it comes to digital literacy. The first one is our Digital Learn platform, and this is our online asynchronous digital literacy training. It is a self-paced training where participants can create an account. They do take a very quick pre-assessment, and the system automatically suggests to the participant which of the topics on the Digital Learn platform they should take just based off of the answers that they completed. The curricula is available in English and Spanish, and like I said, it's self-paced 24/7. So if someone is up in the middle of the night and can't sleep, they can hop onto Digital Learn and complete their lesson. And then our second method is synchronous, which is the in-person training. And we typically coordinate these classes with community-based organizations. So we do provide the train the trainer when it comes to digital literacy. We will work individually or in a group setting with CBOs who are interested in integrating digital literacy into their services. And so, with the help and the support of community-based organizations, we've been able to train folks all throughout the state on our digital literacy curriculum. We are currently working on adding an AI course, as I mentioned before, and since it's available in English and Spanish at the moment, we also wanted to introduce Vietnamese as another language option as well. I mentioned the pre and post self-assessments, which again is just our way of monitoring progress and learning. And out of our post assessments, and like I said, some of the feedback that we received from our participants, 97% said that they found that our training to be very useful and would definitely recommend it to family and friends, which we certainly have experienced. We oftentimes ask our participants, how did you hear from us? How did you learn about us? And word of mouth tends to be the sort of number one recruiting method for our digital literacy. Okay, and so with that, I think I'm turning it over to Kirsten.
Yes, that's right. Next slide, please, Navreet. Hello, everyone. My name is Kirsten Olson, and as I mentioned in the chat, I am the director of the AB 617 Communities Empowerment Initiative here at CETF. I'm going to take a few slides to talk through our AB 617 Communities Empowerment Initiative. Trish did mention it at the top, and it's the program that she mentioned that is directly developed to provide support to folks in environmentally impacted communities. So the AB 617 Communities Empowerment Initiative was established through a CASF grant, the California Advanced Services Fund, that we, CETF, received from the CPUC, the California Public Utilities Commission, to promote broadband connectivity in AB 617 communities. As the first bullet here shows you, in case you're unfamiliar with AB 617 communities, they were established through California Assembly Bill 617, and they are communities that are identified as being disproportionately impacted by air pollution, economically challenged, and also digitally disadvantaged. So the application we submitted to the CASF program and we were awarded to serve focused on 13 zip codes, which are located over 5 AB 617 communities. You'll see those zip codes listed here on this slide, but I do want to bring your attention to the 3 zip codes specifically in South Sacramento, and those are 95823, 95824, and 95828. But we are also focusing on 4 other AB 617 communities, which are West Oakland, East Oakland, Richmond, and Stockton. Over the life of this program, we will connect 4,250 unconnected households and enroll them in an affordable internet service plan. That 4,250 number is across all 13 zip codes you see here, across all 5 regions. And we will train 1,000 households over all these 13 zip codes in these 5 regions in digital literacy using the program that Marissa just described. And we will verify them digitally proficient using the method that Marissa just described of working with CSU Chico and providing them with a certificate and a badge verifying their proficiency. So next slide, please. So we are working through several community resources to make sure this program is a success. The first is what we call digital navigator hubs. There are at least 2 in each of the AB 617 communities we work with. A digital navigator hub is established by a community-based organization, which is located directly within an AB 617 community. The CBO, the community-based organization, works with digital navigators, and one of the aspects of this program is that the digital navigators themselves must be residents of one of those zip codes that I mentioned on the previous slide. And we work directly with these community-based organizations to assist them with providing that digital literacy training. In Alameda County and Contra Costa County, we partnered with Tech Exchange to help coordinate outreach. And in Sacramento County and San Joaquin County, we have partnered with Valley Vision to coordinate outreach. Next slide, please. So we have conducted a pretty large-scale marketing and outreach campaign to get the word out to AB 617 residents about this program. First was direct mail. Last summer, spring and summer, we mailed over 160,000 large-size postcards directly into those 13 zip codes in West Oakland, East Oakland, Richmond, South Sacramento, and Stockton. Each one of those postcards had a region-specific call center phone number printed on the postcard. As Patty mentioned, there are several unique IVR numbers or dedicated phone numbers that our call center agents work with to serve specific communities. And these postcards, which were mailed directly into AB 617 communities, had phone numbers that were dedicated to that particular region. We also had billboards placed in Richmond, Stockton, and South Sacramento last summer in June of 2025. We held 5 community forums in person, one in each of those 5 regions. All of our digital navigators have flyers that are dedicated specifically to them, and they have their unique phone numbers printed on those flyers, which they can use to call into the call center and help assist families directly. We have, as Patty mentioned, our call center with dedicated agents trained to serve residents of these communities and assist them with enrolling in an affordable internet service plan. And the call center agents also help residents with registering for digital literacy training. And we do our best to reinforce all of these efforts with direct notification. And direct notification is really successful when we're able to partner particularly with counties. We know counties are very trusted messengers in communities, and generally speaking, when you get a message from your county, it's something that you perceive as trusted and you want to explore it. So we partner with several counties around the state to reinforce these messages with emails and newsletter blasts and hopefully text messages and wherever we can to get the communication coming directly from the county to the resident about this program. And next slide, please. That's it. Thank you for your time. Thanks, Navreet.
And we'll thank you to CETF for the presentation today. We'll provide some space if anyone has any Q&A related to CETF. They also have dropped their emails within the chat if you would like to email them separately, but just providing space for any questions. Please feel free to unmute yourself.
I will take a moment, Navreet, if you'll allow me, and I'll highlight that our dear partner Morgan is here from Color the Block. She's one of our digital navigator hubs that we've been so privileged and happy to work with in South Sacramento. Big props to Color the Block. They're doing great work. So, and I think she just dropped off as soon as as soon as I pointed her out, she dropped off. Okay, well, she was here.
If you would like to hear more from Morgan, she will be a panelist for next week's convening, along with others, including the City of Sacramento, CETF again, and the Sacramento Public Library, which we'd be happy if you join us as well. With that in mind, and again, thank you to CETF for your presentation, I would like to move on to our interactive session with a Mentimeter activity. If I will go ahead and stop the recording as well to allow for this.